Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here, and I'm doing another basic Redstone tutorial, and this time it's all about repeaters and comparators. Now, before we get started, there's some info you need to know, and that is Redstone can travel up to 15 blocks. And this happens to be 16, so this lantern is not activated. Now, using a repeater, though, will refresh that signal all the way up to 15 and cause it to light up. Cause this lantern to light up. No matter what power it was before, it will always turn it up to 15. Now, another thing that most people don't know is that repeaters can be locked by placing another repeater to the side of it. Powering that, you get this little animation, and you can see that even if I unpower this is still powered. Another thing that repeaters can do is they can set delay. For example, by sliding this over here, you set a delay. So if I slide this all the way over here, you can see that when I turn this on, there's a little bit of delay before it turns on and it turns off. You can do that again with more repeaters and have that delay be longer. Now, comparators. Comparators have, by default, two modes. Sorry, I'm going to put a little light source here so I can see. And they have two modes, and that is compare and subtract. The default mode is compare, which is this torch is down and unlit, but when you right-click it, it turns to subtract mode, which pushes it up and it lights up. Now, by default, what compare mode is, whatever side is greater, it will use that side in both comparison and subtract. But if I say, let's take a redstone torch and place it right here, you can see that it is on, and that now it turns off. If the power on the side is greater than the power in the back where it's coming from, the comparator will turn off. If the power is equal, it will stay on. And if the power to the side is less, it will be on as well. Now, subtract mode. You can see, it will also output whatever redstone power is greater. And because this only goes 2 blocks and this goes 3 blocks, it would use this one because it uses less power. So it will output that amount of power left. It is not used as a repeater. But in comparison mode, if I turn it on to comparison mode, you can see that it turns off. That's because it will subtract the amount of power left on its side. Whatever side is greater, it will subtract that amount of power from the back. And whatever is left, then it will output. For example, if this is a power of 13, this is a power of 14, and this is a power of 14 as well, you can see if I turn it on to the subtract mode, the output is 0 because it's subtracting 14 from 14, and that is adding up to 0. But if I move it one more over, you can see that it has a power of 1, because this power block right here, this redstone, is at power level 13, and this is at power level 14. And this one is actually the same as this one, so it doesn't matter which one is used. But it's power level 13 subtracted from power level 14, and it outputs 1, because 14 minus 13 is 1. Now, redstone torches output a signal of power 15, and then as it goes down, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, etc. Now, repeaters are also good at testing if command blocks have successfully executed the command. For example, if I say test for at P, range equals 5, and I set a comparator down, you can see that the comparator is on. This is hooked up to an infinite clock. You can't really see it, that's because it's so fast. But it's hooked up to an infinite clock, so it's constantly testing for that player. And as you can see, if I go out too far, the comparator turns off because I'm not within 5 blocks of it, 5-block radius of that 5-block sphere of it. But if I go into it, you can see that it turns on because I can. And if you watch my previous redstone videos, these can be used to output a redstone signal. Now, by default, the redstone signal is 1. But let's say I have another player that is over here. And so there are 2 players in this range. It will output a redstone signal of 2. If there are 3, it will output a redstone signal of 3, etc. Now, I'm going to show you an application that this comparators can be used for in this case. Now, so let's say you want to have a single-player map, one that cannot be played multiplayer, that you can, like, easily cheat if it's multiplayer, and you just want it to be forced single-player. Well, here's how you can do this. Here's how you can set up a system to where if there are more than one player, if there's more than one player, it will cause the players to be constantly teleported to one location, and then when the second player leaves, the player will fall down and kill himself, and they will die, and causing them to reset at their checkpoint. And this is actually very simple. What you want to do is you want to set up your infinite clock by setting set block, by doing this, executing this command, and then 2 blocks above that, use this command, placing a redstone block in the middle by hitting shift, by holding down shift and right clicking. And yeah, you also might want to do /game rule COMM, press tab, and then type in false, or just press F and type tab, and yeah. Anyway, so, and then after you do that, after you have set up your infinite redstone clock, hold down shift, put a slab here. Oh, sometimes it does that. You gotta find which side doesn't break it, because one side will work and one side will break it. Put a slab, hold down shift, put a slab on the top of this side of this command block. Take another command block, and that is test for at P. This will test for how many players there are in the world. And since I'm only 1, since there's only 1 player in the world, and that is me, it'll output a redstone signal of 1. But let's say actually what I'm gonna do this. What if there are 2? If there are 2, then what it's going to do, I'm going to take a torch, a redstone magic torch, as in pirate language. Minecraft has a secret pirate language in the language section. So yeah, go check it out. Put a magic powder, a redstone repeater, a block of any choice here. Take another slab, put it like this. Take a redstone block, put it on here, and then put in /TP at A, squiggly line, and then you want them to teleport really high up. So I suggest 256, and then squiggly line. Unless you build to the top of the world, in which case you might want to make that number higher. As you can see, when someone else will join, this command block by default is being powered so many times, but it can't, well, if this was off. But because it's on, it's preventing it from powering and powering over and over again, because it's, like, infinitely powered, like it's stuck on powered mode. But when this turns off, it will be able to constantly teleport those people there.